So far, January has been a month of pretty much absolutely nothing for this game, and it's extremely worrying. It has so many people that are still fans of this game in ultra panic mode because, well, it's still silent, there's no communication, nobody has any idea what's going on, and we're still relying on people to data mine the game just to get some slight bit of information, which is just absolute insanity. And now Paul Tassi has jumped onto this train, who's also been someone who's been on the train to support in this game, but now a lot of people are just in ultra panic mode as to what on earth is actually going to happen in the next couple of weeks, let alone months, right, to this game. Now, before we dive into the video, if you want to jump on a call with me, either to talk about YouTube if you are an aspiring YouTuber, or anything to do with business related, entrepreneurship, etc, because I know a lot of you guys are actually in that field, which is super cool, then I would love to connect with you guys and basically chat with you all. So you need to be 18 plus, and if you want to jump on a call with me, just visit that email in the description below. Don't visit the email, you need to email that email. So email me over and we can basically agree a time, and it'd be really cool to connect with you guys. But nonetheless, drop a like and let's dive into this video. So although we're all still seeing this light at the end of the tunnel, I'm sure I'm not the only one when I say that the light is definitely getting further away each day. And what's surprising is we used to complain about the official Avengers Twitter account doing tweets, right, that were basically pointless, and now even that stuff has stopped. We've basically got no tweets whatsoever that have any sort of relevancy to the future of this game or state, and it's getting a little bit crazy. So you guys know there was a live stream which we covered in the last video where they were talking about MCU skins and all that kind of stuff, which was good, but still absolutely nothing overall, right? It's just absolutely crazy. So Paul Tassi has done an article, and like I said, I know a lot of you guys love to read the articles because they're valid points, right? Every point he makes has some sort of validity to it where you're like, okay, either this makes sense or yes, this basically needs to happen, otherwise this can be going south for a very long time. So the article is basically also stating how the devs have gone silent. You guys know I also said this a couple of days ago, and this is what the article says, more or less reading word by word. So it says, we are past the halfway point of January, and the remaining fans of Marvel's Avengers are trying to extract any bit of information as to when the next update of the game is coming. In the original timeline, we were supposed to have Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, and probably Black Panther in the game by Christmas, which technically, by the way, is actually a real situation we were meant to be seeing. So it continues to say, but that shifted when Avengers had to fix roughly 11 million bugs after launch, and we only got Kate in December, with Hawkeye coming at some unspecified date in 2021. Black Panther still has not officially been announced in terms of a release date, yet everything from his character model to his voice actor, which is Kratos by the way, has already been data mined. Like, we've even seen pictures of Black Panther, how he's going to look in the game. And he continues to say how this past Friday, Crystal Dynamics had their usual stream where they play the game, but they quickly snapped up any comments asking for news because they just don't have any. They can't share something they don't have, and also they can't share something because it's just not in their power. Now, Paul continues to say that I have multiple worries about Avengers going forward based on what they have planned and what we think they have planned. The arrival of Hawkeye doesn't seem like it's going to be a watershed moment for the game, given that A, Kate wasn't, even though her missions and kits were fun, and B, Hawkeye is still of course somewhat a modified Kate Bishop in some sort of way with new moves. Now with things like AIM cloning labs, that's basically meant to be a 4-player endgame activity, but people apparently are still having that problem matchmaking, so we don't even know how that's going to go down. But overall, Paul continues to say, I just worry about Avengers discovering what Anthem did, where you might think you have a roadmap at hand, but the practical realities of it basically dismantle it all almost instantly. We are way off target here, and seeing the Kate Bishop update, I mean, I can understand why. That was very substantive, full of the ton of new voice work, cutscenes, missions, and then the design of the character and combat itself. But new introductions like this being this much work make me wonder how often Avengers can actually release stuff like this. Are we going from 3 characters in the launch window to 3 characters in the launch year? Given where we are now, I wouldn't be shocked, and we would basically be lucky if we have Hawkeye here by the end of February, which in hindsight means 2 new characters in 6 months. Then there's the question looming over everyone's head. How much runway is Crystal Dynamics being given? Is the full team working on this, or are many being made to move on to a new, more potentially profitable project? When does Square Enix say enough is enough, or do they let them have a full year or 2 of post-launch development to turn things around? When does Marvel announce some new game like they've been doing with Star Wars and Indiana Jones, putting even more pressure on them? These are all open questions. I just don't know what the future holds for Avengers, but the longer this goes and the less we hear, the less optimistic I'm getting. And I really can relate to that last sentence especially, because you guys know that we cover this game a lot, and over the weekend pretty much there's just been this weird feeling where I feel disconnected with the game all of a sudden, and that's a fear that I actually had for a while. And the problem is, it's not so much that the game isn't fun, we still talk about this, the game is fun, like the gameplay is fun, I can't actually fault them on that. But when you don't know anything in terms of the future of the game, and devs are silent, and then if you do get a tweet from like Square Enix themselves, which we have got, it's just about still, like, for example, Kate Bishop's voice actor, and by the way, great job, right? Kudos when it comes down to that stuff. But the problem is, does anyone actually want to see that? No. Like, just give the people what they actually want. And I think not having the roadmap, even if they think it's unrealistic, is also still a bad move, because, well, we just don't have any idea what's going on. Do we even bother to attempt to upgrade characters? Do we just uninstall the game? When is it time to do that? When is it time to basically just hit the nail on the head and say, right, this is done? Because I can tell you right now, I feel like we are getting extremely close. And if I'm honest with you, by this time next month, if we're still getting no information, I may just go and uninstall the game myself, because in some sort of way, like, I've done everything they possibly could be, I don't know what's going on, and there's a ton of other cool games out there, so that's the problem. We'll see how it goes. I just think we need to hear. It's all about communication, and that's basically where we stand. But guys, that's going to wrap up this video here. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and until the next one, adios amigos.